you imagine that? When she said it, I was just like, this woman said she knew another woman's body, other women, the women that he was cheating with, she knew their bodies better than she knew her own body because she went and studied them on their pages. She studied them. She said she even watched videotapes of them having sex. You guys, listen to this. It gets juicy. Very, very, very juicy. Okay, listen.
Their profiles, and I would study their pages and like what they wear. I knew when they had met up. So I watched their videos of them having sex. So I would try to imitate that and recreate.
Did y'all just hear that? Can you imagine having to watch a tape of your spouse having sex with another woman, and then you go and try to imitate what she does to try to turn your own husband on? It's deep, y'all. Deep.
That in our relationships so that he could choose me and want me.
Danae, we talked about some stuff now.
Did we?
Yeah.
Listen,
yeah.
I was just getting started. That was the pregame. That's the appetizer.
Oh, that's the pregame.
Appetizer.
Well, let me tell you something, because now the hashtag is defined XYZ is going to be what it is.
Define it.
Define commitment.
We have to be very specific and crystal clear on here.
Define wedded bliss.
What is that?
Define not being inappropriate.
Right. Define it.
Define it. Define it.
Let's define a lot of things, okay? So
I understand what you mean when you go through what you've been through, because when you deal with that certain type of personality, it'll make you have to rethink and restructure and reimagine what words actually mean, because those words can be used against you, and we'll dig deeper into that. And so now we left off, you're in your first year of marriage.
Yes.
And you found that Derrick was having inappropriate conversations with people from his past that he had a sexual relationship with, and then later on you began to find out that it wasn't just conversations; it had moved to actual sexual acts.
Yes. And again, I didn't find that out until 2019. So we got married January 2018. I found out in November of 2019 that there was a lot of conversations that had turned into physical interactions from that point. So in that time span, I had actually began working on myself. I had 500 followers at the time.
Oh, look at just your 500 followers.
500. I was doing big things.
It's like you're doing something. You like, I got 500.
All kinds of big things. I was known. People knew who I was. Okay.
He over here with 1 point something million.
She had 500 followers, but she was the admin, right? I think she said that she managed his administrative part of his business, being the motivational speaker, relationship guru, right? She managed his back office, so to speak, She accepted the emails and stuff like that, and she's sitting over there with 500 followers. No one knew her. No one knew who she was. No one knew she was Derrick's wife.
Then you had 500.
Everybody knew who I was. Okay. And so I had actually started a little journey on Instagram at the time with like losing weight. I had lost 66 pounds. I told you I had enrolled. Thank you. I had enrolled in therapy. So my therapist is like helping me through this time as I'm losing weight. And I'm like, yeah, I'm becoming a better person, a better woman. I'm becoming more secure, like in myself and confident in myself. Look at all this weight I just lost. I've been putting this work in. I'm fine.
After 2 kids.
2 whole kids. I'm looking fine. Okay. And then
I thought they had 3 kids, but anyway, let's listen.
It was at that point I'm like, I want to start traveling with you. I'm going on tour with you. So then he did the self-love tour with Steven Speaks and all that, and I was there at almost every tour stop.
Did people know who you were when they saw you?
They did not know who I was until I said I'm his wife. And there was a few times where I had to, literally our team, because I coordinated our team to travel with us, the people that I hired to come with us. And they were literally like holding me back at some of these events, like, don't do it. And I'm like,
what were you about to do?
listen, I was not always saved. Okay, so there's when you have a husband that is in the spotlight, women feel like they can do whatever they want. They can talk to him they can touch however they want. Oh, you're so fun. These little touches turn into something else.
Some more touches.
Other touches, right? There was a lot of that. There was a woman that was bold enough to sit on his lap, and he didn't even do anything about it. And I had better words from at that time because I had been in therapy, so I was practicing those tools. And
I done been through something similar, but I wasn't married, but still similar. I do think that it is the man, the person's responsibility to check a person. They touching you in a certain way and, making certain gestures or whatever. No, you need to check them. It is your responsibility to check them.
It still was like, okay, well, this is part of my job.
Not you as the wife or you as the husband, but the person that they're doing it to, meaning that Derrick should have been checking these women. Okay.
This is what comes with it. You have to be more secure. And I'm like, I'm secure, but it is not okay for this to happen, And so that just kind of became a dynamic throughout the rest of the tour, but we made it through by God's grace. But yeah, there was a couple times where they had to hold me back.
So he welcomed you on the tour. It wasn't like he was trying to tell you to stay at home.
He didn't tell me to stay. He let me come. I was running things. I was taking pictures of him and all the people. And I, when it got out of control, I would give a look and be like, I am his wife. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
Because I didn't know he was married. I didn't know he was married until the infamous bonnet video. I never knew he was married.
A lot of people apparently didn't know he was married, but he did make a couple of videos here and there that said he was married.
What video was that?
It was a long, probably when we first got married, he did a video on YouTube where he was actually live on YouTube, and it's still, I don't know if it's still up there, but he talked about our marriage and how we got married and all that. And then Don't Forget Your Crown, he talks about me and him and our relationship and us getting married. Yeah, that's one of his books, and he talked about us getting married, which was his number one book outside of A Cheating Man's Heart series. I got something for you out there.
I saw some shade right there.
But
he said A Cheating Man's Heart.
It is. It's called A Cheating Man's Heart, and it's the 3-part book. Outside of that, Don't Forget Your Crown is right there, where he talks about me and us. My name is all up in the book, and our relationship, parts of it are in there.
He said parts of it.
And so
the man be throwing his little shade up there. You got to catch it because you just toss it out there a little bit.
I am a woman of God. I have integrity, and
she said parts of it.
It is. It's the truth, though. There are parts of it in there, and parts of it are true. So he did talk about it a little bit, but it was not this, how we see most people oh, this is my wife.
Yeah.
You ain't
gonna see no Gabrielle and Dwayne Wade type of stuff, right, or Sierra and Russell.
Right. Right. And then when I started asking for that, it was like, you gonna make the block hot?
Hey, moderators, y'all don't have to post the coffee link. I've been blessed so much today that I don't need a coffee, a tip, or nothing. So y'all can back off on posting those links. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all.
And I'm like, I don't care if I make the block hot. I'm your wife. And
he's gonna make the block hot.
So
what did that mean to you? What do you mean by that? When you say you're gonna make the block hot?
Well, by the time I was really forceful, hey, you need to take a stand for who you're. If you're saying you want me, you need to take a stand. I need to see this translated. Yeah. And it was well, it's okay, I'm just coming off of this, gonna make the block hot. I had to let go of these people, and they're going to be upset. And I'm like, I don't care.
Let go what people? What are you talking about?
The women.
He didn't tell you that. He didn't tell you that if you come out and share, if he comes out and share that y'all are married, that he would have to let go of women.
He was saying that he had to let go of these women, right, behind the scenes. I'm going to make the block hot, or he's going to make the block hot, or I'm going to make the block hot for him posting me after he's let go of these women because their feelings are going to be hurt. Right?
Are you talking about women that you knew about prior to the marriage?
Prior to the marriage, in the marriage. Okay, so when I was very forced.
So is she saying that Derrick is saying if he let go of the women, they're gonna get if he posts her, the women are gonna get mad, and that's gonna make the block hot because they're gonna start talking about it? Is that's what she's saying? That he's like, if I post you, then other people are gonna get mad and they're gonna start discussing it or discussing, things between us. You're gonna make the block hot?
About it.
Yes.
When I was very forceful about it, we had this is, like 2 years ago, so we already in the marriage. So when I was like, you need to take a stand, you want me back, this is what needs to happen.
Okay, so we fast forwarded.
Yeah.
So this is when you took because you mentioned in part 1 that it was an 8-month.
Yeah, so I was gone for 8 months. So I left in February of 2020 I left Georgia and I went to Denver and I slept on my mama's couch with my 2 kids for 8 months. And I stayed away.
Made you leave?
There was a lot. It was a lot going on at that time. I had already knew about the infidelity since Thanksgiving, around the Thanksgiving time where we hosted his whole family in our house. And that was the hardest thing I had to do, to sit there and be with his family and all that. I went to Thailand with my mom and my best friend a couple weeks after that. And I was talking to the Lord and I was like, okay, Lord, I can't continue to do this. And I was like, okay, you need to choose between the condo and the family that you created. Right. And I really feel like I heard that from the Lord to tell him to do that, because he was spending a lot of time. We had a condo and then we had a mansion, and I was in a mansion, a 9,000 square foot mansion by myself with 2 kids, more nights than I should be. Like the people that clean our house were in there more with me and the kids than he was. And so
God dang.
I really feel like I heard that from the Lord, like, hey, choose between the condo you're spending all your time and the family you created. And he got so upset. Like, what do you mean this? Yeah. And I'm
he living in the condo and she living in the mansion. Listen, the pool guy would have been anyway. Let me just continue on, because he doing his thing. And I'm in a 9,000 square foot mansion, honey. We would have had to make a contract or something, honey. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I got the mansion, okay? Listen, he doing all of that. We would have been doing it together, honey. Together.
Like, you need to choose, like, what you're gonna do. And at that point, I still had not told him that I know about all of the stuff.
Again, that's amazing how you came out and talked about it in premarital counseling, and then now you withdrew again and didn't bring it up again in marriage.
Right, because that scared me. Okay, all of the anger that I received after just telling him how I actually felt, like how I was impacted by his decision making in that time, and his reaction to that, it was not like, that didn't invite safety. Yeah. That didn't invite, like, oh, continue to do this. Like, I, at that point, still had not even unpacked the rape trauma. So all of that is like fear. Like, okay, if I continue to talk about this, it's going to push him away. We're married now. I'm definitely not trying to get a divorce and be left with these 2 kids by myself. And, I quit my job.
I just don't think a wife or a husband should have to live in any type of fear of being left. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to be in a relationship where I think that, I feel like one day, you're going to get mad at me and leave me. I don't like that. That's uneasiness, right? Who wants to be in a relationship like that? So you got to walk around on pins and needles, or this person may just get mad and leave. I don't want to be in a relationship like that at all. Danae.
Job to be a stay-at-home mom and to work with him, and so I just withdrew within self. I had not overcome all those things yet. I hadn't unpacked all those things yet. So fear, I was almost like intimidated by him. And then you add on some things that I had not dealt with my daddy issue.
Oh wow!
All of it kind of
by your husband
equated into me withdrawing back into self, into my little shell. So
You know, I believe that she will be healed one day. And the reason being is because, you know how they say sometimes you have to admit some people be in denial. But if you admit the truth to yourself, if you realize what it really was, she's speaking everything that it really was. She had low self-esteem, no self-confidence. She was intimidated by this man. She was so afraid that this man would leave her, right? So I believe that she will heal because she is in touch with reality. Some people be like, no, I wasn't, I didn't have low self-esteem. I didn't have low confidence. No. She's literally stating that she knows what her errors was,
Again, I had to unpack all of those things just to get to a point to be in a sound mind.
So when you left, what did you say when you left?
I didn't say anything.
He just came home one day, he was gone.
Well, he was at the condo. He decided he was going to go to the condo because we had a big falling out.
So it's a condo in the same city?
Yeah, it's in Atlanta. It was in downtown, midtown.
So you had a condo in the house?
We had a 9,000 square foot mansion in the same neighborhood that one of the Migos people, I don't even know their names, but one of them lived like not far.
So why do you think you need a condo for?
He needed a condo so he could record. I was told the condo was supposed to be for business, for recording, to get this look, for the webinars and all that. That was what that was for. But little did I know, we was out here living our best lives.
You have a 9,000 square feet house, but you need another house, another space to record, and you got a 9,000 square feet house. It wasn't nowhere in that big old house that he could have recorded. What?
Whole full-blown relationships.
Duh.
Okay, so
I would want to say duh on that. Duh.
Yeah.
It's like if you have a whole condo, first of all, if you really want to do something, you got a 9,000 square foot house, you can put a whole studio in that 9,000 square foot house.
Right, but no, we have kids, it's too loud. There's all these things, the reason why that couldn't happen.
Sure, you could have built the studio in the backyard of that bad boy.
There was a lot of space.
I imagine so. In Atlanta, a 9,000 square foot house, I can only imagine what that backyard looked like.
Ridiculous. Right? And so so he had the condo it's supposed to be for business, but he spent more nights there than he did at home. So anyway, he ended up going back to the condo because I had said some things like as it relates to scripture that he didn't like agree with and all that. And it just turned into a big thing. And I was like, you need to be delivered. I learned a lesson. You just can't come at somebody and be like, you need to be delivered. So I learned a lesson in that.
You said what? You learned.
Why she can't tell him he need to be delivered? She was right though. He need to be delivered. Listen, if you can't tell your spouse you need to be delivered, then who can you tell? You need deliverance. Okay. She told him, she said, honey, you need deliverance, baby. Something wrong with you.
You can't tell somebody.
You just can't be like, hey, you need to be delivered. You got demons. I didn't know that though at the time.
Because you was a new Christian.
I was new.
Yeah, you was new in this thing.
I was new. I was just like, I just found out about deliverance. So this is okay to say, like, you need to be delivered. You need to be delivered. This is why. And I know 2 people that can do it. So we need to figure it out so we can go. You can get delivered. I get delivered. Everybody's happy, right? Yeah, that doesn't work out. Apparently, people get very upset. And
that be them demons talking when they getting upset. You getting upset because your wife told you need to be delivered and you old cheating ass. Honey, them demons was talking. That's why he didn't want to be delivered. He wanted to continue to do what he was doing while she sat and waited for him, okay? In the background. That's what he wanted.
not only do they get upset, they think you're crazy and you know, you'd have lost your mind. So I went through that. I said that, and then I'm crazy. He said I'm crazy and all these things, and I need to get a mental evaluation. He called my mom, which is how my mom got involved. He called my mom like, hey, you need to come check on her. And then my mom is calling me like, what's going on? And then I'm telling her all of it, because at the time I didn't tell her all of the stuff that was going on. And now I'm telling her all of it because I'm like, okay, I don't have the capacity to deal with this. I got these 2 kids. I am not crazy. He has a demon inside of me, you know, like he needs to get delivered. And I'm trying to help him to get delivered, you know. You can't come that aggressive. So that was a learning lesson. I learned that in ministry. That was my first introduction into ministry. So
what brought you into Christianity as an adult? Because you said when you were younger,
she told her husband he needed to be delivered, and he got mad, okay? And he called her mama and says, she crazy. Something wrong with her. She crazy. No, it was him. Something was wrong with him for real. Something was wrong with him.
You were introduced to it when you were younger, but then you renewed your faith, recommitted. When was this?
So this was around the time, I know we talked about how he got his hair cut by a girl that he had sex with. And it's around that time I enrolled in therapy. I had 3 therapists at the time.
Yeah.
And it was around that time I was like, okay, there's something seriously wrong with me and I need to figure it out. I cannot go another year like in this condition. And so I was just doing everything. I'm like, listen, whatever I can get into, God is the answer.
And plus, I have money, so you can just go pay
I'm gonna try whatever I could try, like yoga, like what else you got? You know, like God is the answer. So let me figure that out. Let me get in Bible study. I'm calling my mom like, when is your Bible study group meeting? I need to get on a video call with y'all, you know, because I'm in Georgia, they're in Denver, and so I started doing that and. And I was like on and off with that a little bit, but then I started having some like weird dreams and things like that where I felt like I always had to fight, and like I would go through the day, I'm like, oh, I feel like I have to fight, but I don't know what I'm fighting.
That's good.
Like I don't know what I'm fighting, and then my mom was like, okay, I was waiting for you to.
The way she's doing this interview, she's coming out so well put together, so intelligent. You know, she act a little different on her Instagram. Maybe it's just because she likes to troll on her Instagram. But she comes off so well-spoken, well put together, well knowledgeable, well intelligent, well in touch with the real of what she went through. It sounds she interviewed very, very well, in my opinion.
Get to this point.
Yeah.
And she's just sitting here waiting the whole time, reading me my whole life. And it's just like, okay, there is a spiritual war going on.
There it is.
And you need to decide who you're going to serve.
Yep.
That's what she said to me. I was like, what? What do you mean? I already served Jesus. She's like, you need to decide who you're going to serve because you have not been serving my Lord. And I'm like, okay. So
that's good.
Once I started pursuing, like taking this, when she said that, I was like, okay, this is real. And then our daughter started having some like night terrors. But it was some crazy like paranormal activity type of stuff happening in our house. Like when I say stuff moving, when I say lights turning on by itself, when I seen our daughter literally get picked up out of her bed, there's a camera in the room and on the floor, like nobody's in her room.
I believe in all that.
Nobody's in her room. And I was like, what do I do?
Did y'all hear her? Huh? Did y'all hear that? That's the most spooky shit that she talking about right there, y'all. She said she saw her daughter get picked up out her bed and there was nobody in the room. Did y'all hear that? Okay. I know I ain't the only one that heard that. I think this is why a lot of people start calling her cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but let's just continue to see what she had to say, okay? Maybe she gonna tell us that she found out later that it was Derrick, honey, okay?
Besides calling the name of Jesus, I don't know. So that's what really started because I'm like, okay, now my child is being attacked. I got to take it serious. It's one thing with me, but now my child is being attacked. She's 1.5, 2 years old at the time. And so I started really going down that path. And I didn't really tell him because he was, he's at the condo working. so he's he's providing, and I'm out here.
Give you that nice little soft life you live in.
Yes. And I'm like, yes.
So you can have 3 therapists and
exactly.
all that.
Listen, shout out to all 3 of them therapists. They had their work cut out for them. And yes, so.
And so what was the breaking point for you to get up and leave and go to Denver?
So when he said I was crazy, because I'm like, you need to be delivered and we need to go now. And this is what needs to happen.
So he called your mom and you said, forget it, I'm going.
I was like, it took a couple of days. And I was like, okay, I feel like I can't just leave. So I'm like, okay, we need to go to therapy. We need to work this out. And I'm texting him because he's like not answering my calls. He's like, if you come to the condo, I'm going to call the police on you. All these, I'm like, okay.
She was restricted from the condo that they own? What? He said, if you come to the condo, I'm going to call the police on you. What? Derrick said, if you come to the condo and catch me with this other girl, I'm going to call the police on you. This is my private dwellings where I do my due, and I don't need you coming and interrupting my flow, baby. What?
I was texting him. I'm like, okay, we have to figure out how to work this out. The best way for us to do this is for you to come here and we can figure it out. Like, and he was basically like, I'm not coming back there. Like, I would rather be separated from you than to be miserable with you in the same house. And I was like, Mom, my bags are packed. When can you be here? And she was on the flight the next morning, flew in, and we drove. Or I can't even say we drove.
Now, I don't know, y'all. Y'all tell me in the chat. Would you have left your 9,000 square feet house and went and stayed with your mama on her couch with your 2 kids? Or would you have stayed right there in that damn mansion and let him pay all them bills? Which one would you have done? Because I'm telling you, I damn sure wouldn't have been at mama house. I'm just saying. Tell me what y'all would have done, though.
I drove like 80 miles an hour to
all
Denver.
The way from Atlanta to Denver.
Yes.
How long was that trip?
It's a 24-hour drive. I drove the first 15 hours pretty much straight through. She had to force me to stop driving.
You were just motivated on adrenaline.
I was adrenaline, and I was just like so upset. And then I was kind of scared too, because I'm like, I can't believe like I'm actually doing this. He's gonna freak out when he realizes that I'm gone, because I didn't say anything. I didn't send my phone was actually right. My phone was actually turned off at the time because there was like a little financial crisis that started happening around that time too. So my phone was actually turned off. So I was like, this is perfect.
You ain't gonna just slide by that financial crisis, had your phone cut off.
My phone was cut off at the time.
Living in 9,000 square.
Exactly. Your phone turned off and he got a whole condo and a 9,000 square feet house, and you driving 15, 20 hours with no phone? Girl, no. Absolutely not, honey. Something would have lapsed. There would have been a bill lapse and it wouldn't have been my phone, okay?
For the house and your phone get cut off.
He was working at the condo, so...
It could have been a financial crisis, just oversight of the bill being paid.
Yeah.
Because you can't have a 9,000 square foot house.
I don't know. I wasn't even involved with the finances, so that's what I've been told. So
you've been told?
Yeah, because I wasn't involved in it.
He just told you what?
It's a financial crisis. It was a financial crisis from what I understand.
Define financial crisis.
Define it.
Exactly.
Define it, because there was sure a Lamborghini.
That's what I'm saying. And Bentley sitting up here doing car videos with a Bentley.
There was a lot of stuff. So I don't know where it all went, but we had a financial crisis and my phone was turned off. So at that time it was turned off, and
well, how long was it cut off? About a couple hours?
Days.
See, I don't understand that.
Days. And so it kind of worked out, because then he can immediately call me, and my mom's not answering the phone. So there's that. But by the time I actually got to Denver, he was already there. So
he was?
He was.
He flew down there while y'all was driving?
He flew, and he was at my mom's old address because he had looked her stuff up online and went to her old address. Didn't realize that she had moved. And so he was at the wrong address, and I called him when I got there. I was like, okay, at minimum I could call him when I'm actually there.
Yeah.
Let him know. He's like, I need let's talk. He's standing outside. I'm outside. I'm like, outside where? And it's snowing, and he's like, I'm outside, let's talk. And I'm like, she doesn't even live there anymore. And I'm like, I don't think I should be coming out right now. Like, I just got off the road. We just got off the road, and my mom is in the background like, you just got off the road. You are not going anywhere. And then she's on the phone with with someone and shit. They're like, you get off that phone. He can wait. Right. And which then brought in a whole nother dynamic, because it's like, your mom is controlling your behavior and your actions, and she's keeping you away and telling you what to say and what to do. So then that became a whole nother dynamic, and I'm just like, head spin.
So how long did it take for you to connect with him while he was in Denver?
We met the next day. We met at IHOP, and with the kids. My mom dropped me and the kids off, and he was like, how long are you gonna be here? And I was like, I don't know, a couple weeks, still not saying like, I know, about all this stuff that's going on. And he was like, well, like, you just gonna leave? Like, how do you just gonna leave like that and not say anything? And I'm like, yeah. Like, you decided you wanted to stay at the condo. I can't stay in this house by myself. And so he's like, so you're just gonna keep the kids away from me? And I'm like, I'm not even trying to do that, but I take care of them pretty much by myself. Been doing it by myself since they were born, essentially, mostly, as far as the main care of them, outside of financially, which apparently that's a big deal. If you provide financially, that's the only job you have. So I did not know that. I'm learning though. And so
that's how some men think, honey. They think that if they pay child support, everything that the kid have, they're going to say they paid for it, right? Because they feel like the amount of money that they paying, everything everywhere the kid go, anything, any clothing you see the kid have on, shoes, hair done, they're going to say that they did it because they feel like their child support money funds the child entire life, baby. You hear me?
Define, provide,
right. And so, yeah.
And so he's there. How long did you stay in Denver before coming back?
I was there for 8 months, and he traveled there almost if not every week, every other week. He was there every month.
So what was your plan?
I was just trying to survive. At that point, by the time I got to Denver, I was like unhealthily, like skinny, like I was malnourished. I hadn't been eating. I was depressed. I was malnourished. Like literally, I'll try to pull up a picture of my phone so you can see it. But I was malnourished. Like they had to like force feed me to like get me back to a state where I could just eat properly.
Why?
All the stuff that I had been dealing with and holding in, like I was dying. Had I not left Georgia at the time, I would have died in Georgia. Like I had been in the hospital. They couldn't figure out what's going on with me. I'm bleeding out of places. They're like, I don't know why you're bleeding like this. There was so much stress and stuff going on with my body at the time.
That is crazy. The things a woman will go through over a man that has shown you over and over and over again that he don't care for you the way you care for him. That's crazy.
Had I not left at the time that I did, I think I would not be here right now.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
And so I stayed there for 8 months, and literally my family that knew that I was there, because everybody in my family didn't know I was there, and they were feeding me to make sure I got back to helping me with the kids, taking that on so I could really just do my therapy and just recover mentally and emotionally. And I started going to one-on-one sessions, Bible studies, counseling, and really unpacking some things from a spiritual aspect and going back into the spiritual aspect of like not having the father with the abandonment and the rejection, and then learning about how that translates into like Jesus was rejected. He was abandoned and all that. Like I had to relearn all that happened in that 8 months. And from there, I started journaling to the Holy Spirit and giving him all the details. And this is where the Lord began to speak to me like, hey, you need to write out all these things that you've seen that you've been trying to tell such and such, you've been trying to tell that you've been telling the therapist, you've been telling all of them, that's great, but they can't take the pain that is in your soul. They can't take that out of you.
Yeah.
You know, only I can take that out of you. And so I began to do that. And then I have literally notebooks of the trauma and the pain and the videos, like the details and all of that I have seen, all of it, of giving that to the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, I invite you into this. I'm giving you the details of this, down to like the tattoo, the mole, this, like all the details. I'm giving you all of that.
What tattoo?
I'm saying like of what I've seen of the women, of the people.
Seeing everybody's body parts.
Right.
How does that feel? I want to spend a little time on that, because that's some serious trauma. When it happens the first time, like I said, I've been in environments where I've walked in and seen stuff that I didn't want to see. So what?
I think we're going to stop right there. Okay. Y'all know I told y'all this is not going to be a long one. Now, this is an hour and 40-minute interview. Because I did the Cora and Crystal before this, we're going to stop right here. We're going to talk about it. So we know tomorrow we're going to come back at the part where he's asking her, how is it, basically, how was it the first time you found out versus the second time, third time, whatever, of them actually having sexual intercourse, okay? So I'm going to take this down. We're going to finish it tomorrow. But let's go over some questions right quick, because I see some people in the chat that's basically saying they don't believe her for a couple of reasons. One, somebody said that she stated she didn't have a phone when she drove the 15, 20 hours or so, right? But yet she said that her mother made her pull over and rest because she drove the first 15 hours straight. Tell me your thoughts on that, okay? Tell me your thoughts on that. That's one. Now, I don't know if when she said that she didn't have a phone, I don't know the kids' ages, so I don't know if they had a phone, or even if she stopped and used a pay phone, because I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So tell me what y'all think on her saying, she said, didn't her mother ride back with her? Yeah, but we're talking about on the way there. On the way there, she said she rode without a phone, but then she said while she was traveling, her mother made her stop and pull over. Okay? Or get some rest or something like that along the way. All right, I see somebody said maybe she used a payphone. She probably made check-in calls when she stopped. Okay. And then somebody else said that she said she was malnutrition, right? She was malnourished. If she's malnourished, can she drive 15 hours straight? Now, I would say when adrenaline kicks in, honey, baby, let me tell you something. You can move a whole house. Like literally, sometimes when adrenaline kicks in, you can do things that you don't know that you have the strength to do. Okay? So I don't know, though, because I've never been malnourished. Well, not for long. I did go through a period of losing weight, losing hair, stuff like that. I probably was malnourished. And you know what? I did drive. I drove 12 hours straight. I probably was malnourished too. And then when I say malnourished, I mean like I wasn't eating properly. Because we can be malnourished now, right? If we're not eating right. Lack of eating properly and lack of vitamins and stuff like that in your body can make you malnourished, you know? So adrenaline can kick in and you can do some of the impossible things that you don't. When your adrenaline kicks in sometime, like you can literally stay up for 48 hours. A lot of people don't realize that you can stay up when you hype and stuff like that. You can literally stay up and be functionable for 48. Some people probably even 72. Now, not me. I will crash. I can't even do it. I would crash. I'd be so exhausted, so tired. I would crash. But there are people that I know that said, I stayed up 48 hours straight, or I stayed up 72 hours straight. That's that adrenaline kicking in, or, you know, anxiety can keep you awake. You know what I'm saying? So could she have driven 15 hours malnourished? Yeah, I think she could. Malnourished don't necessarily mean you sickly and you're you're frail and this, that, and the other. It just means that you're not properly eating. A lot of us are malnourished, She said, my doctor couldn't believe I was still working, much less got to the doctor surgery. You'll be surprised what you could do. That's true, Sam. She was fighting for her life, trying to get away from that man. Now, I asked y'all a question earlier. I said, would you have stayed in the 9,000 square feet house, or would you have left and went to your mama house with your 2 kids and slept on the couch? What do y'all say about that? I probably would have stayed in the house, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I would not have, acquired a couple of hobbies, okay? Extracurriculum activities. All right. So I probably would have stayed, because I would have been like, you gonna pay for this and wherever you are, but the fact that this man said, if you come over to the condo, I'm calling the police on you. She didn't know her rights, because that's her condo too. They married. That condo that they acquired in Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, it was hers too. She could have went to both of them. Now, I don't even know if they owned them, because they said that they didn't even own the $1.6 million home. So I think they were renting a 9,000 square feet house and also renting a condo. She said there was no peace there. I would leave. But if he's most of the time at the condo, you know what I'm saying? Why isn't there peace? He's not there. She needed her mom. Okay, I see you, Tammy B. She needed her mom. I can see that. Maybe you need someone that you can talk to, rely on, cry to and stuff like that. So if it's because she needed her mom, understood. Okay. I believe her about the phone because she called her mom to go meet her. And what? And ride back to Colorado together. Okay, that's what you mean. Meet her and the road back to Colorado together. Okay. I hear what you're saying. I get you. Okay, so Tammy B says she needed someone to take care of her. MB says she needed to be stable mentally. Ruthanna says sometimes when you're in pain, that 9,000 square feet house become irrelevant. Eventually, material stuff isn't enough to keep you there. Love it. I would have had my mom come move in with me in the house. I heal when she's around. Okay, got you. Did her mom ride with her? She flew in. The mother flew in? Because she said she drove there. But coming back, I'm not sure. That was some nasty work, telling her she can't go to the condo and don't ever come over, yeah? I would have turned him and that condo everywhere, which way but loose, okay? Like, you come over here, I'm gonna call the police on you. Well, then the police gonna have to be called. The police gonna have to be called. Why am I worried about that? Huh? Why am I worried about the police being called? I wouldn't. That her mom was in the car with her, I thought. Well, we're gonna finish it tomorrow. We can go back over a little bit. I'll listen to for the last 40 minutes that we listened to. I'll go back through it. But I don't want this live to be long, because you guys, 4 hours live, 4-hour lives don't really do me no good, baby. So we're gonna break it up a little bit, okay? Y'all know I love you. I love talking to you. I really do. Y'all make sure y'all go back. If you were not in the live from just an hour or so ago, please go back and watch that live for me, okay? And make sure y'all be checking out my videos too. They just be funny little videos, imprompts, honey. Just a little something quickly, quick. Make sure y'all check those videos out as well. Okay. She said, I'm pulling up at the condo with the cops. Okay. With the popo. I need you to go knock on that door right there because my husband's in there. I think he's being kidnapped, honey. That's what she should have did. But it sounds like she is a lot more smarter and wiser now than when she was in the marriage. I can see this young lady gathering her strength. That's what she's doing. Her speaking out like on platforms like this, that's making her stronger. Hit my elbow, my wrist. That's making her stronger. And I can see her getting stronger and stronger. Now, and I don't know if she's dating anybody. I don't think she is, but I like the fact that she's allowing herself to release this type of stuff before getting into a relationship with someone else. She needs to get out. She needs to really, really get through this. She was in love with this man. You hear me? Most women are in love with their husbands, right? Most spouses are in love with their spouse. She was definitely in love. And so she's working through her problems by speaking on it. So tomorrow we will listen to the other half of it. Well, we may have to, no, I think tomorrow because we'll come on live earlier. We won't be up at almost 11 o'clock at night. We will listen to the other part tomorrow. We'll finish listening to it, dissect it. And then we're going to listen to his interview, not tomorrow, but we will be listening to his interview because his is quite different than hers. Got to come back to find out. I love y'all. Make sure y'all hit this thumbs up button. Share this live. Hit that thumbs up button for me, and we will be back tomorrow, okay? All right, y'all. Thank y'all so very much. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart, and I will talk to y'all later. Good night. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Love y'all. Bye.